has also now been ordered by the rail minister. He confirmed so late last night when he said that the railway board has recommended for this investigation to take place. Meanwhile, even as that investigation goes on, train movement has resumed at least on 2 tracks as far as this particular station goes, as far as this particular region goes. Movement is back. Unfortunately, the identification of some of the mortal remains still continues. That is an uphill battle for several. Take a look at what Ashwini Vaishnaw, the rail minister, had to say yesterday and some reactions that followed.
इंक्वायरी भी कंप्लीट कर ली गई है, तो जो कमिश्नर रेल सेफ्टी है वो अपनी इंक्वायरी रिपोर्ट जल्दी से जल्दी देंगे। जैसे इंक्वायरी रिपोर्ट होगी सारे तथ्य पता चलेंगे, लेकिन एकदम क्लियर इसका रूट कॉज, इस इतने दर्दनाक, इतने भयानक एक्सीडेंट का रूट कॉज ऑलरेडी आइडेंटिफाई हो गया है। पीपल रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैव बीन आइडेंटिफाइड। सो अभी कुछ भी कहना ठीक नहीं है। लेट द एंटायर थिंग बी इन्वेस्टिगेटेड बाय द प्रॉपर इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग अथॉरिटीज। जो कुछ अब तक का एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव इंफॉर्मेशन मिली है उस सबको ध्यान में रखते हुए आगे की इंक्वायरी के लिए, आगे के इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए इस केस को, इस पूरे मामले को सीबीआई के पास देने का रेलवे बोर्ड की तरफ से रिकमेंडेशन किया जा रहा है।
We are standing outside the station, and this is the relay room of the station, which is very vital because this is the room where automatic logic system, software automatic logic system, that is here, so that is tested and that is placed here. Generally under no circumstances this room is opened, and you can see that there are two actually keys, multiple keys, and this is like, we can compare it to the this is absolutely locked, and this can be compared with the locker of a bank where there are 2 keys, and the sensitivity, the amount of confidentiality there in a locker is the same type of precious and important, is this room, because this room, in this room, that automated software, automatic logic system is placed, and generally there is no chance of doing something with it.
Now it is believed and suspected that there is probably a criminal angle involved into it, and that is why probably that might have tempted the Indian Railways to bring in CBI into the picture. Now let us try to understand why it is believed and suspected that probably something went wrong there at the station, Bahanaga Bazar station, on 2nd of June, and that led to this massive accident. Now, as you were saying that this particular signaling system, let me tell you, even though this Bahanaga Bazar station is a very small station, type of a halt station, but as the station is on a very, very busy section, one of the busiest sections in Indian Railway, that is the Kharagpur section, which is the which connects East and South India. Now, this station, the signaling system of this station is absolutely modern. The most modern signaling system is placed there. This is called the electronic interlocking system.
The recommendation of a CBI investigation has set off speculation that the signaling system error, which is believed to have led to the accident, could have more human intervention than previously thought. Why exactly is that speculation now rife? What is exactly this interlocking system? Could that error have been a technical glitch, or was there a human error that's behind this particular glitch? My colleague Ayushman Jamwal explains.
270 lives lost in the horrific train tragedy of Odisha, but 3 days later, there are many unanswered questions, ladies and gentlemen. The recommendation of a CBI probe has set off speculation that the signaling system error, which is believed to have led to this accident, had more human intervention than previously thought. So what is the interlocking system? The electronic interlocking system is considered the most modern system in the railways. It is expected to be robust, reliable, and fail-safe. At the same time, the interlocking system is a software-based logic system that follows command chain to manage signaling. So that is what was involved in the entire system over here. The system, as I was saying, follows the command chain to manage the entire signaling system. So why did the Coromandel Express enter the loop line where there already was another train? That brings to the spotlight the electronic interlocking signaling system at the Bahanaga Bazar railway station. Here's why. If a train must be set into a different track, the signal can't be green. That is the modus operandi of the entire system. Moreover, if you look at it, if a point is set in reverse direction, the signal is set to be yellow or red. That is when the system is going in reverse. The goods train was taken to the up loop and then it was set in reverse for the diversion for it to enter the loop. That was the plan set. The Coromandel Express then was coming in the same direction. So why did that exactly happen? Because the express was to pass through the up main and it was given the green signal. That's what we are learning. Moreover, the station display shows the distance signal and the home signal. They were both green. This is where the problem arises. Why were they both green? There was no pass through. The express was diverted and it entered the up loop line. Why were those lines green is the big question. The express then smashed head on into the stationary goods train. And this is what led to the 3-train collision, because there was something wrong with the system. And all experts indicate there has to be some human intervention. But let's go through the entire infrastructure that is put in place when it comes to taking care of all of these signals. Now, what we are learning is that the top railway officials, while explaining how the point machine and the interlocking system function, said the system is error-proof and fail-safe. And it did not rule out the possibility of outside intervention. They're saying this entire system is fail-safe and there could be some sabotage angle at play. Now, what we are learning is that the signaling system is operated from a station building operated by the station manager or assistant station manager. The station manager's function is limited to managing operations, and the entire system is automated and is operated from the relay room. Once the system is set and tested, the relay room is under lock and key. That is what top officials are telling us. The relay room cannot be opened without approval, and multiple keys are required to open the room only if a problem with the system is noticed. The opening of the relay room for operations on the 2nd of June has been completely ruled out. So why did the system glitch, which led to this 3-train collision, which led to the loss of close to 300 lives?
Now, even as the tragedy is being investigated, the politics continues to snowball. The opposition is relentless in demanding the resignation of Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw, accusing the central government of ignoring several safety recommendations, specifically the Kavach system, which has technology to make sure head-on collisions do not happen. Something that the Railways Minister has come out and said that this does not apply in this particular case at all. In fact, Congress chief Malik has now written a letter to Prime Minister Modi as well, raising several questions, stating that the government is focusing on strengthening the railways in a superficial manner. Rahul Gandhi, who's in the United States, he too raised the issue there, hit out at the BJP and the central government while he was addressing the Indian diaspora in New York. He recalled a train accident when the Congress was in power. He said the minister in charge had resigned. But unfortunately, that's not what we're seeing this time around, is what the Congress and the opposition unitedly has been saying. Meanwhile, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee too came out and questioned the central government.
अभी आपने देखा अब तक 3 गाड़ियां जा चुकी है. टोटल रात में करीब 7 गाड़ियां प्लान्ड है और एकदम नॉर्मलाइजेशन की तरफ ले जाना है. और बहुत ही संवेदना के साथ जिन परिवारों के मेंबर्स खो गए, उनको किसी न किसी जल्दी से जल्दी उनके पास उनके परिवारजन पहुंचे. ये हमारा दायित्व भी खत्म नहीं हुआ है.
उनसे पूछो भैया ट्रेन एक्सीडेंट क्यों हुआ. कहेंगे भैया वो देखो कांग्रेस ने 50 साल पहले ये किया. आई रिमेंबर ए ट्रेन एक्सीडेंट व्हेन द कांग्रेस पार्टी वाज इन पावर. द कांग्रेस पार्टी डिड नॉट गेट अप एंड से नाउ इट इज द फॉल्ट ऑफ द ब्रिटिश दैट द ट्रेन हैज क्रैश्ड. नो, द कांग्रेस मिनिस्टर, आई रिमेंबर, said it is my responsibility the train is crashed, I'm resigning. This is the problem that we have back home. That we make excuses and we are not accepting the reality we're faced with.
अब ये कैसे एक्सीडेंट हो गया है इसको तो देखना चाहिए ना। और पहले आप जानते हैं रेल का जो डिपार्टमेंट होता था उसका बजट पेश होता था अलग से। नई सरकार आई है उसने बजट को ही खत्म कर दिया। तो इन लोगों को कोई सेंस है जी? क्या रेलवे का जो बजट पेश होता था वो तो उस तरह का प्रावधान नहीं ना होता है जी? नहीं तो एक एक चीज बात तो सबको मालूम होता।
I don't have any comments about them. I am interested to help the family, to save the family, and to restore the people. Now also so many dead bodies is not been identified. So far I know that 106 dead bodies are lying unidentified there, 120, and also injured so many. Let them recover fast.
Sharan, my colleague, now joining us to get us more details of what exactly is happening as far as the opposition ranks go. Now, we do know that the opposition so far has been putting up a united front, at least as far as calling for the resignation of the Union Railways Minister is concerned. But Sharan, the BJP is also putting out some facts to counter the opposition. Sources within the BJP have now come out and listed the kind of instances, the number of instances and the unfortunate loss of lives that took place when, say, Lalu Prasad Yadav was the Railways Minister or when Mamata Banerjee was.
Well, to get what is really the stand of the opposition party, I am in fact joined by the former MOS Railways, Sharan sir. Opposition जो है बीजेपी कह रही है कि अभी पॉलिटिक्स कर रही है इस पूरे इशू को लेके। रेस्टोरेशन हो चुका है, वहां से एक लाइन चालू हो गई है। कांग्रेस का क्या मांग है इस पूरे इशू को लेके? हो गया,
ट्रेन चल गया। पहले भी बहुत एक्सीडेंट के बाद चला है। ट्रेन चल गया तो मामला खत्म। ये 275 लोगों की जान जो गई वो खत्म। उनका डेड बॉडी अभी तक पड़ा है, वो खत्म। उनको मुआवजा मिला नहीं है, वो खत्म। अभी तक सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी में कोई मेजर नहीं लिया गया। क्या प्राइम मिनिस्टर इंश्योर किए हैं कि सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी में हम कोई कंप्रोमाइज नहीं करेंगे? वो तो बातों बातों में पैसा देते हैं ना, हम 1 लाख करोड़ रुपया खर्च करेंगे कवच में, बोला है। कैसे खत्म होगा? ज्यों का त्यों है। तो जो चीज सही है उसको बोलना पॉलिटिक्स है। और सीबीआई इन्वेस्टिगेशन वहां रेलवे एक्सीडेंट में, जहां रेलवे सेफ्टी कमिश्नर बता चुका है, एक्सपर्ट दे चुके हैं, खुद रेल मंत्री बोल चुके हैं उनका कि सिग्नल प्रॉब्लम है, वो पॉलिटिक्स नहीं है। आप जो दोषी है दंड देंगे बोलोगे। स्टेशन मास्टर को सस्पेंड किया है, हो गया आपका काम।
तो अब क्या कांग्रेस का अब क्या मांग है? मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे जी ने भी एक लेटर लिखा है प्राइम मिनिस्टर को, उसमें पॉइंट्स भी बताए हैं। तो अब क्या होगा मोड ऑफ एक्शन फॉर द कांग्रेस पार्टी?
हमारी कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे जी ने 11 पॉइंट लिखा है। उसमें बहुत सारे सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी का मेजर्स लेने के लिए कहे हैं। बहुत सारे एक्सीडेंट, जो मैसूर में एक्सीडेंट हुआ था उसको भी उन्होंने कोट किया है कि वहां उस समय भी वार्निंग दिया गया था, सिग्नल एक्सपर्ट लोग दिए थे। उसके बाद कवच कैसे बना और रक्षा कवच से कवच बना, और कवच बनने से कवच अभी साइलेंट है। कवच में कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा है, पैसा एलोकेशन हो ही नहीं रहा है। रेल बजट को, इंडिपेंडेंट बजट को मेन बजट में मर्ज किया गया, रेल जनरल बजट में। उसके बाद तो इम्पोर्टेंस रेलवे का खत्म हो गया। यही सारी चीज उन्होंने उल्लेख किया है। रेलवे कांग्रेस पार्टी इज सीरियस।
विल यू कंटिन्यू टू आस्क द रेजिग्नेशन ऑफ द रेलवे मिनिस्टर?
हम देश के जनता के सामने रख रहे हैं, रख देंगे। वो रिजाइन करेंगे नहीं करेंगे उनकी बात है। प्राइम मिनिस्टर उनको रिमूव करेंगे कि नहीं करेंगे उनकी बात है। देश की जनता को सम्मान करते हैं क्या नहीं, इशू पर इनका रेस्पॉन्ड ठीक होता है कि नहीं। अगर इशू पर कोई रेस्पॉन्ड नहीं करता है तो वो जनता से भी ऊपर है। वो भगवान हो सकता है, वो दंडधारी हो सकते हैं, दंड पकड़े हैं ना वो, तो वैसे हो सकता है। उसमें मैं क्या कह सकता हूँ?
So that was the former MOS Railway speaking to us and telling us that how there needs to be an accountability and the government needs to come out clean with a proper investigation into what really happened in Balasore.
The opposition, including the Congress there, keeping up the pressure on the central government. Sharan, do stay on with me. Let's listen into some more reactions that are now coming in.
छोटे मोटे आश्वासन देते हैं, बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हैं. बुलेट ट्रेन, ये ट्रेन, वो ट्रेन, हाई स्पीड ट्रेन. जो ट्रेन चल रही है ट्रैक पे वो ठीक से चलाइए. सिग्नल, रेलवे ट्रैक, ट्रैफिक सिग्नलिंग, उसके ऊपर काम करिए. वो वंदे भारत, अमुक भारत, तमुक भारत, ये तो उनका प्रचार है. जमीन पर कुछ नहीं. अब रोने से क्या होगा? तो आपकी सरकार क्या कर रही है? गृह मंत्रालय क्या कर रहा है? रेलवे का टेक्निकल विभाग क्या कर रहा है? कौन लेगा प्राइज?
बिल्कुल उपयुक्त है, क्योंकि जिस प्रकार की जानकारियां उनको मिली होंगी उसके अनुसार उनको लगता है कि सीबीआई जांच होनी चाहिए. तो सीबीआई जांच हो जाए ताकि जरा पूरी जानकारी मिले कि सिग्नल्स का इशू है या क्या कुछ और इशू है. वो सीबीआई जांच से सारी चीजें पुख्ता हो जाएंगी.
We visited all the hospitals where the patients were kept. So we didn't find anybody from Tamil Nadu. So as of now, out of the 8 people that we announced yesterday, 2 people we were able to reach, and they are safe now. The 6 people were not able to reach them, but the co-passengers who travelled with them, they have said that they are safe. And when we cross-checked the coaches that they have travelled, and those coaches were not affected, and everybody in those coaches was safe, but still we are not able to reach the 6 people. Very soon we will be able to reach the 6 people, and the Odisha government has taken a very good initiative. They have supported our government, and our IAS officers are still in Odisha working on this.
Shifting focus now to breaking news coming in, and this is over the increasing airfares. Union Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia has now taken cognizance of that. He chaired an hour-long meeting with the Airlines Advisory Group over the issue of these increasing fares, and he shared his concerns regarding the abnormal surge that we've seen, especially on certain air routes. There are 3 points that Jyotiraditya Scindia, the Union Civil Aviation Minister, has now emphasized upon, and that is the most important one is about airlines self-monitoring airfares on certain select routes. There is considerable surge that has been seen on particular routes, especially those routes that were earlier being serviced by Go First. Now given to understand that a mechanism needs to be put in place is what the message is from the Union Minister, something that would be monitored by the DGCA. Pallavi Ghosh, senior editor, and my colleague joining us to get us more details. Pallavi, 3 points that the Union Civil Aviation Minister has emphasized upon during this particular meeting. Do take our viewers through them.
Yes, so the first thing is the timing, because we know this is a summer rush, the holiday season begins, and this is a time when we see a huge surge normally in airfares, especially on which is considered to be the popular destination. That's one concern which was raised in the advisory group, and periodically over the last few days, the Aviation Ministry has been sending out this kind of a advisory that please control the airfares. So that's one advisory which has gone out on particular routes given the season. But more importantly, I think, is the second and the third point where he talks about, especially the last one, in the context of Bhubaneswar. Now, this is an advisory which went out from the Civil Aviation Ministry a couple of days back as well, that Delhi-Bhubaneswar-Delhi circuit, that it should not see any surge in the prices, because this is a humanitarian crisis. This is when people would need, perhaps possibly, to travel urgent patients on airlines, and therefore the airlines will have to follow this rule that do not spike your airfare. So these are the 2 key takeaways from this meeting which he had a short while back.
Right, those are the big takeaways. But as far as monitoring of these prices is concerned, that is left up to the judgment of the airlines. We do hope that this advisory does translate on ground. For the moment, Pallavi, though, thank you so much for getting us the latest. Shifting focus now to Bihar, where a bridge was being built over the Ganga River in Bhagalpur district. It was being built over a cost of 1,700 crores, but it collapsed for the second time around in just 1 year. The 4-lane bridge being built between Sultanganj in Bhagalpur and Agwani in Khagaria collapsed over the weekend. Fortunately, no casualties were reported, but just last year, the structure of the bridge partially collapsed due to strong winds and rain. Now the Chief Minister of Bihar has come out and said that the state has already ordered an investigation, but the politics over this continues because the BJP is gunning for the Mahagathbandhan Sarkar. News 18 Bihar's Vikas Kumar gets us this report from the site of the collapse and what exactly transpired. Take a look.
मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार का ड्रीम प्रोजेक्ट अगवानी टू सुल्तानगंज गंगा पुल धराशायी होकर गंगा में समा गया। इस वक्त मेरी मौजूदगी जो है वो ग्राउंड जीरो पर है और ग्राउंड जीरो से हम आपको तस्वीर दिखा रहे हैं कि किस तरह से जो पुल है जिसे सिंगला कंपनी एसपी सिंगला कंपनी के द्वारा बनाया जा रहा था वो पुल किस तरह से गंगा नदी में समाया है और सुपर स्ट्रक्चर और पिलर का कुछ भाग अभी भी गंगा पानी से ऊपर है। तस्वीर देखकर यह सहज अंदाजा लगाया जा सकता है कि जिस वक्त यह पुल गंगा नदी में समा रहा होगा उस वक्त का मंजर क्या रहा होगा। एसपी सिंगला कंपनी के द्वारा पहले इस पुल का निर्माण कराया जा रहा था और पहले भी इस पुल का सुपर स्ट्रक्चर हवा के झोंके से गिरा था और इस बार 4 पिलर और सुपर स्ट्रक्चर पूरी तरह से ढहकर वो गंगा नदी में विलीन हो गया है। हालांकि घटना के बाद से जो है एक नाइट गार्ड की लापता होने की सूचना है जिसको लेकर एसडीआरएफ की टीम लगातार मौके पर पहुंची है और नाइट गार्ड जिसकी लापता होने की सूचना है उसकी खोजबीन की जा रही है। आप लोगों को कब सूचना मिली कि और आप लोग किस तरह से काम कर रहे हैं?
हम लोग कल से ही काम कर रहे हैं, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट हम लोग को 5 बजे इन्फॉर्म कर दिया गया था। तो रात होने के कारण हमारी बोट इसमें नहीं ट्रैवल कर पाती है, इसी वजह से हम लोग ने सवेरे मॉर्निंग 4 बजे ही हम लोग ने बोट को जोड़ के फिर से जांच वाली काम इससे पहले भी एक घटना हुई थी कि एक पुल सेगमेंट गिर चुका था कि संडे को वर्क नहीं होता है, दैट्स वाई इसके वजह से ही बहुत लोगों की जान बच गई है, नहीं तो बहुत बड़ा हादसा हो सकता था।
जो हुआ है अभी कुछ समय पहले एक बार और हुआ था तो उसी समय हमने कहा ऐसा क्यों हुआ है, और जबकि हम इसको बनाने के लिए हमने बहुत पहले तय किया था। हमने 12 में ही देखा, अब 14 से काम शुरू हुआ। अब जिसको भी दिया गया है एजेंसी, अब इतना देर क्यों हो रहा है? और एक गिर गया था तो उस समय भी हमने कहा था, 1 साल पहले की बात है। अब फिर जब 2 हो ये फिर गिरा है, कल ही हमको पता चला है तो तुरंत हमने विभाग के सब लोगों को कहा कि जाकर के देख लीजिए और तुरंत एक्शन लीजिए। ये कोई तरीका नहीं, अब तक तो हो जाना चाहिए था।
तो दूसरी बार गिरा है तो उस कंपनी के खिलाफ क्या कार्रवाई हुई? तो ये तो आपने जनता के साथ अपराध किया है, उनके जीवन के साथ। पहली बार गिरा है तो क्या हुआ? कोई ऑडिट हुआ है? ये तो पहली बार गिरा नहीं है। जो पिछली बार गिरा उसमें क्या हुआ? तो ये कहना है कि कार्रवाई करें। और ये 1700 करोड़ रुपए किसके पैसे हैं? जनता के पैसे हैं ना। ऐसे ही बिहार सरकार के पास रोना रोती है कि सब सेंटर से फंड हमको मिले, हाँ, और आपके पैसे गंगा में डूब रहे हैं। तो आपका सुशासन नहीं है, कुशासन कहते हैं इसको।
Saurabh, my colleague, joining us to get us more details as far as the politics over this goes. Saurabh, we've seen how there is a divide even within the ruling government there. The MLA from the region says that a lot more could have been done, but unfortunately that wasn't.
Yes, very shockingly, the MLA from JDU and his constituency is Khagaria, where this incident happened. He is alleging that the IS officer, the ACS, the Additional Chief Secretary, Pratyay Amrit, knew about this whole defect of the bridge in the month of October, as well as it was informed to the Road Construction Minister Tejashwi Yadav also about the defect. Yet the work was in progress and nothing was dismantled as it was promised by Pratyay Amrit to the JDU MLA at that time. And because of that defect in which cracks were found on pillar number 10-11 as according to the MLA, those were the pillars that collapsed and the whole structure came down into the river. Now the politics has started on this. In fact, BJP is supporting JDU MLA's statement, saying that Nitin Nabin, who was the former road construction minister, he said that it was the responsibility of Nitish Kumar and he should take the responsibility, and Tejashwi Yadav as a road construction minister should resign because his babus knew about this whole defect. It was a unfortunate event because the people there were not present because it was Sunday, no laborers were there, otherwise many lives could have gone by this incident. Whereas we are also learning that the Congress, which is in a coalition with the Nitish government, they are also saying that a judicial inquiry should be done instead of inquiry under the supervision of the ACS Pratyay Amrit. Back to you.
Right, Saurabh, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. Let's actually listen into what that JDU MLA Sanjeev Kumar had to say and the doubts that he raised against his own government and the way the entire situation was handled last time around when we saw a similar crash happening at that particular site. Listening.
Who do you think is responsible for this?
See what happened, in fact, in last session of Vidhan Sabha, I had question regarding the credibility of this bridge, and I have also shown some picture to the Principal Secretary, Mr. Pratyay Amrit, in his office, that the cracks are seen, in fact, I think on the pillar number 10 and 11. He said, ki, okay, I will dismantle it and new construction will take place. He showed me some video also of dismantling some structure there. But that pillar was not dismantled. And the same pillar collapsed and the superstructure also collapsed. It shows that I can say that apart from the contractor, some officials are also involved in this. But I request Honorable CM to make a high-level inquiry in it, which he has already done yesterday only.
आप पे एलिगेशन लगा रही है आरजेडी एक ट्वीट के माध्यम से कि जो पिछले साल जो घटना हुई थी जब वो यही पुल फिर से गिरा था, उसमें उस वक्त आप पथ मंत्री थे।
देखिए, मैं जो आरजेडी के महान आत्मा लोग हैं, मैं उनको स्पष्ट रूप से जानकारी देना चाहता हूं कि जब ये पुल की शुरुआत हुई उस समय मंत्री ललन सिंह जी थे। जब इसकी डिजाइन से अप्रूव्ड हुए उस समय मंत्री तेजस्वी यादव थे 2016 में, और जब 2022 में इसका सुपर स्ट्रक्चर गिरा उस समय मंत्री मैं था, और मैंने ही उस जांच, जिस जांच का हवाला दे रहे हैं तेजस्वी यादव, वो जांच मैंने ही करवाया था आईटी रुड़की की टीम और एनआईटी पटना की टीम से, और रिपोर्ट आया था। उस रिपोर्ट पर डिपार्टमेंट को संज्ञान लेना था। उस समय हमारी सरकार चली गई और फिर माननीय तेजस्वी यादव डिप्टी सीएम दोबारा बने और विभाग का काम संभाला, और अक्टूबर महीने में तेजस्वी यादव ने उस पूरे रिपोर्ट पर समीक्षा की, और उसके बावजूद सब रिपोर्ट के फाइंडिंग्स आने के बावजूद उस रिपोर्ट को किनारे कर उन्होंने काम की अनुमति दी। तो कहीं ना कहीं ये पूरा विषय तेजस्वी यादव के सामने से गुजरा। तेजस्वी यादव ने निर्णय लिया कि काम फिर से शुरू कराइए। तो आप तेजस्वी यादव जी, आपके पास जब रिपोर्ट था, जब आप आज जिस हवाला दे रहे हैं जिस चीज़ का कि इसके डिज़ाइन में गड़बड़ी थी, हम लोग उसको पूरा डिसमेंटल करने वाले थे, तो जब आपको सब कुछ मालूम था तो काम आपने दोबारा क्यों शुरू कराया अक्टूबर में?
With that, it's time for a quick break here on this edition of Nation at 5. But on the other side, we're going to get you the big debate that's taking place in Karnataka. Do stay tuned for that.
25 fatalities and more than 50 injuries. Who was the railway minister? Malik Kharge. Did he take moral responsibility?
And let me tell you what's different this time.
Okay.
Let me tell you that on 9th of February this year, an internal report from the Principal Chief Operations of Southwestern Railways served as a post-mortem of a very similar incident that has happened in Balasore, which was averted just in time at Hosadurga station due to an extremely alert driver. He said in that report that there is a fundamental problem with the interplay between the interlocking system and the signaling system. And actually, in the most dire terms, warned that if the signaling system is not monitored and corrected immediately, it will lead to a very serious accident. This is just a few months ago. Why was this report ignored? Why was it that
I will pose that question.
Our Prime Minister and our Rail Minister were more busy in ensuring that they show up at more Vande Bharat train inaugurations than taking the required cognizance.
But let's be fair. The Prime Minister as well as Ashwini Vaishnaw were at the site the very next day. This happened on Friday at 7 p.m. and they were at the site very next day. The whole area has been cleared in less than 24 hours. I mean, and you still haven't answered my question. Why didn't Mallikarjun Kharge take moral responsibility? But first, we are also getting a piece of breaking news now. Let's get the details of that piece of breaking news. After Railway Minister ordered a CBI probe in the matter, experts have told CNN News 18 that signalling failure cannot happen without human intervention That is the pitch coming in from top experts. The question remains, is the need of the hour to look into a sabotage angle? As per experts, the signalling system at Bahanaga Bazar, where this incident has taken place, ladies and gentlemen, is modern, robust, reliable and fail-safe. The system is time-tested and developed over the years. So that is the pitch that's coming in from top experts. As Ashwini Vaishnaw has ordered a CBI investigation, there could be a possible sabotage angle emerging in the wake of this gruesome tragedy. I'm joined by my colleague Dhrubajyoti Pramanik, who's getting us all the details. Dhrubajyoti, over to you.
So Anshuman, the hint was enough in the morning where standing on the site, Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw told, quote, the root cause of the accident is now clear and the people involved, they are also identified. So it was enough hint. It was an enough hint for the Railway Minister after such a massive and terrific accident that there was something wrong with the entire thing. Now later on the day, the railway board member, while interacting with the media, she told that yes, there was something wrong. The Coromandel Express, it was supposed to pass through the up main line, and before that, one goods train was coming from the same direction, and it was made stationary. And that is why the loop line was set. Facing point number 17A was set in a reverse direction, and the goods train was taken in the up loop line, and it was made stationary. It was made parked, right? Then the Coromandel Express was about to pass through the same line, the main up line, and the signal was given that was green. Now the question is, let us just understand this signaling system of this Bahanaga Bazar station. This is absolutely based on electronic interlocking system. This is a software logic based, very robust, reliable and fail-safe system. As you were saying that this system is developed over the years. Now just let us try to understand the signaling system. The logic says it's a absolutely software logic based system. The logic says if any point is set in a reverse direction, then the signals behind it would be either yellow or green. But in this case, it did not happen.
Right.
Two signals. Distant signal was green, the home signal was green. Then what went wrong? The experts say the signaling failure can't happen without a human intervention. You may ask, humans are involved in the train operations, but the probable human intervention in this case is different in nature.
Right.
Let's just understand why EI signaling system is operated from it's operated from the station building itself and by either station manager or by the
right. So there could be a sabotage angle. Thank you, Dhrubajyoti, for getting us those latest details. This horrific incident that has taken place in Odisha, where close to 300 people have lost their lives. The charges coming in thick and fast from the TMC and the Congress calling for Ashwini Vaishnaw's resignation. Now, I want to ask both the Congress and the TMC spokespersons, both your party chiefs, Malik and Mamta Banerjee, have served as railway ministers. Can they boast of a stellar safety record? I'll take that first question with the Congress.
I don't want to engage in whataboutery and how does it matter what our safety record was when it was.
Welcome back. Debate surrounding the anti-cow slaughter law has resurfaced in Karnataka after Animal Husbandry Minister K. Venkatesh made a remark on cow slaughter. The controversy erupted after the Congress minister questioned that if buffaloes can be slaughtered, why not cows? These remarks were made after the minister was asked a question about repealing this particular law. Condemning the remark, the BJP has now hit back at the party. Listen in to what the minister had to say and the reactions that followed.
ಅದೇನೇ ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬಜೆಟ್ ಭಾಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವಿನ್ನೂ ಏನು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಹಿಂದೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಬಿ ಜೆ ಪಿ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಇತ್ತಾಗ ಬಿಲ್ ತಂದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಈ ಎಮ್ಮೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೋಣ ಮತ್ತು ಎಮ್ಮೆಗಳಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಹಸುಗಳು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡೋ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಈಗ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಕೋಣ ಕಡಿಯೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಹಸು ಯಾಕೆ ಕಡಿಬಾರ್ದು
64ನೇ ಇಸ್ವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರೋದು 90 ಆಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಾವು ಮತ್ತೆ 1964 ಆಕ್ಟ್ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಗೊಬಂದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಏನು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ
ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಇನ್ slaughtering the cows have been worshipped by Hindus and in this our country we worship the cows with this kind of attitude with this kind of arrogance and this kind of having anti-Hindu stand or anti-cow is something which is not appreciable by anybody.
Is this a needless controversy or is it something that hurts the sentiments of the voters of Karnataka as the BJP alleges? Opening that up to the guests that join us on this panel, Madhu and Rao, Karnataka BJP spokesperson, joins us, and spokesperson of the Karnataka Pradesh Congress, Sanket Yanagi, also with me. And Mr. Yanagi, I'd like to begin by asking you, the BJP says that this is nothing but appeasement, which is why you came out and said that if buffaloes can be slaughtered, then why not cows, despite knowing how sacred the cow is for Hindus?
Firstly, let me say that statement of the BJP is of double standard. When they allow the cow slaughter in the state of Goa, Daman and Diu, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Pondicherry, Kerala and Arunachal, and all the seven sisters and in West Bengal, and there is no sentiment being affected for the BJP, and most of them are governed and ruled by the BJP. When BJP comes to the state where Congress is ruling or any other party other than the BJP is ruling, they have a problem. Actually, they don't have the problem with the cow. They have the problem with the government. They have the problem with the people. People have given the mandate to the Congress. They have the problem with the people's mandate. More than anything else, they are finding stone even in the curd. So the BJP has to understand how has been its approach in the states which are ruled by the BJP in respect of the states where the cow slaughter has been allowed. They understand in other states that it is economical and it is economically viable and it is necessary for those states. But insofar as Karnataka, they think it is affecting their sentiments. The cow in Karnataka is not different from the cow in Goa. The cow in Karnataka is not different from the cow in Manipur and other states. So the BJP has no locus to raise this issue, and it has become politically and morally bankrupt, and it is showing its greed for power or to raise some issue which is irrelevant at point of time. Yes.
Mr. Rao, it's hypocrisy on the BJP's side. That's what the Congress says today. But even when the bill was brought in, when the law was brought in, it was brought in by the way of an ordinance in 2021 by the BJP government. Even then, questions were raised of why it was being hastily done.
Well, good evening. I think,
is it to be
speaking,
Mr. Rao, go ahead.
Congress has lost face after the election results are out. They were supposed to give the guarantees which they had promised for. I thought for a moment that Congress would be able to cater to the needs of the people as to what the guarantees they had offered to the people. But unfortunately, when they came to know that they are not been able to deliver it in time, this is a deflectionary tactic by the Congress party. Why did you have to start about all these things now? Did the BJP start this? We never started this. What was the necessity for you guys to start it? I mean, this is but for natural for the Congress party of appeasement politics from the day one. Don't you know that? Point. The second point. See, this is all anti-Hindu sentiments. I was just listening to my good friend, Mrs. Enigi, speaking about other states. Now, let me tell you one thing. Even Mr. Digvijay Singh in 2015 was on record, who told that they were pioneer in banning in all 24 states way back in 1955, and even backing the central government for the banning across India. And now we have a government which says that, oh, why only buffaloes needs to be killed? Why can't we slaughter the cows? No, this is nothing but the double standards of the Congress party. The point is only so much, I just want to tell that this is nothing but appeasement politics. Now they have to cater to the needs of the people who have voted for them. What else do you expect from the Congress party?
Mr. Yanagi, this is needless controversy. Talk about the guarantees that have been fulfilled, though, by the Congress's government. They said so, Mr. Rao, that they will take that decision in the first cabinet meeting, which they did. They approved all 5 guarantees. But why rake these issues up? You're just trying to muddy the waters, Mr. Yanagi, is what the opposition says. You spoke about the hijab, then you spoke about the revision in textbooks, and now you're talking about cow slaughter. Mr. Yanagi?
Is it to Mr. Madhu or to myself? Poonam?
Mr. Yanagi, go ahead. Sanket Yanagi, if you can hear me. We'll try and reconnect that line with the Congress spokesperson, but the BJP spokesperson continues to be with us. And I would like to ask you that, Mr. Rao, that the Congress said that they would be delivering those promises that they made before elections in the first cabinet meeting. The first cabinet meeting happened a few days ago, and the Chief Minister did come out and announce that all of them would be implemented. So now if they're looking at other issues in the state, then what's wrong? They are the party in power.
We have absolutely no problem in they catering to the needs of the people, or they having responding to the people's mandate. Fair enough. But the point is only so much. Why did you have to take up all these issues at this point of time when these were all not election issues at all? Don't we now get to know the true colors of the Congress party? I mean, let me tell you one thing. I just want to remind the Congress party of only just a backflash for them. Way back in 1954, I remember Sampurnananda, who was the chief minister of the Congress party, he defied the Nehru's orders and told that I will ban the cow slaughter in the state of UP. I mean, this is the Congress party now in 2023 saying that we will slaughter the cow. I mean, this is really, I tell you, this is double standards of this Congress party, and they're only appeasement politics they're trying to do. I mean, look at the intention behind this. You are trying to rake up the sentiments of the Hindus. For what reason? What is the intention of your government now? Please, I would only beg the government that kindly cater to what you have promised of the guarantees. They are now running away from the guarantees. Now they say they're putting conditions for the guarantees. I mean, this is but for natural for anyone for that matter to deflect the issues, and they're at this best.
Mr. Yanagi, you accuse the BJP of being hypocritical on this issue because there are several other BJP-ruled states that have a similar, that do not have such a law and that allow for cow slaughter. But it's the same allegation that the BJP applies to you, that many Congress leaders in the past have come out and made and have batted for an anti-cow slaughter law. In fact, it finds mention in the Article 48 of our Constitution as well.
So Article 48 of the Constitution is only the matter which is called as the directive principles of the state policy. In the sense the state must endeavor to do certain things, and it is one of them. And to the extent possible, we have already regulated under the legislations which are the cattle which are permissible for the slaughter, which are not. We have already regulated under the law. And there is a scientific reason for the same, and there is also a reason which is accepted by the finance department and has been suggested and supported by the finance department's suggestions. And now the question that is a reason here is that the BJP government has promised goshalas. How many goshalas they have already delivered when they were in power? And the next question is, what is the extent of amount which they have released for the goshala? These are all the questions which they do not have an answer. And the decision of the BJP in Karnataka, it was only politically oriented, or more so it was for the polarization or for an appeasement, not in a democratic society. They do not worry or care about the people's problem or the people's concern. And some Hindus, they are talking about Go Mata here in Karnataka. And when they go to the other states like Goa and Manipur and other seven sister states, they forget about Mata or Go. They say go by Mata. So this is what the tendency of the BJP, and nothing to be given serious thought about BJP's double standard statements. And I would only say BJP has been frustrated because of losing up the power even by Operation Lotus this time. they wanted to try for the Operation Lotus, and the former minister has already made a remark as on the date of counting that he would even think of Operation Lotus by any other means.
Sure.
And they have lost all the opportunity to come to power by the back door. And that is the frustration level of the BJP. They do not tolerate anything. And insofar as 5 promises are concerned, it is already in the pipeline. It has been updated from time to time. The BJP, which has not fulfilled its promises over the period of 5 years in Karnataka, 3.5 years in Karnataka, and also in 9 years in Delhi, so they are asking someone like why you are not performing your promises. Not even a month is over. So this is what the BJP is frustrated.
But Mr. Yanagi, when you say that the BJP has... Sure, but Mr. Yanagi, when you say that the BJP in other states does not have a law but wants to impose a particular law only as per convenience in certain states, the Congress would be accused of that as well, because this law is in place in several other Congress-ruled states, including Rajasthan.
So it all depends. So there are multiple things which we need to concentrate here. Number one, the people's interest of the income, so many aspects, not just that, and the population of the cow or the cow slaughter, and the number of the hospitals, number of amenities, number of goshalas, everything needs to be accounted and calculated. And it is not just because we have a sentiment for cow or something else. It is not so. We have to be practical, and we have been practical. So in Rajasthan, it is some other issues. In Karnataka, that is not an issue. In Goa, that is the issue insofar as cow is entirely different. So it all differs from state to state.
Sure.
And the particular religion to religion, it all differs from the area to area, geographical nature, and climate. Many things are necessary to be understood.
Sure, it differs from state to state, and Karnataka does not need such a law, Mr. Rao. That's what the Congress says. Last comment to you.
I think Mr. Renegi has answered the point himself. That is one of the reasons why it is under Article 48 and why it is been made a state subject precisely. Now we feel that in Karnataka it should be banned. It has been banned. Now if somewhere else it need not be banned, that is a different issue. Now have to equate every state to every state. I think Mr. Renegi has got the answer. He himself has told now. Therefore, I am asking only one thing. Why is it required it should not be banned? Is it not a part of the government's, is it not responsibility of the government under 48 to ban it? Yes, under 48 they have framed the law. Under the law they have banned it. And now we are questioning it. Rather than questioning it, you are questioning the intention. You are questioning the intention as well as you are just raking up the feelings of the sentiments of the Hindus. I mean, see, there has to be some reason behind it. And the reason is simple. It is appeasement politics. I'm telling you again and again. They have to cater to the
It's the same allegation that both the Congress and the BJP seem to be making against the other. Is the issue the implementation or the intention? Is the issue the law in itself, or the comment or the analogy that Karnataka's new minister has made? The controversy continues to brew. But I thank you both gentlemen for joining us here on this broadcast with your perspective. The controversy, like I said, will simmer because the BJP has also now called for protests over the comment that the minister has made. Listen in to some of those reactions.
ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ಯರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಕಿ ಇದ್ದ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ, ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗೆ ಆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಧಿಕಾರಗಳಿರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಹಿಜಾಬ್ ವಿಚಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಂಡು ಒಬ್ಬ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಸಚಿವ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಉತ್ತಮ. ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಇಡೀ ಜನತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಗಮನಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದ ಮೂಲಕ ನಾನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ತೇನೆ, ಕೇವಲ ಚುನಾವಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಗೆದ್ದತನ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಮಾರಿದಂತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಮುಂದಿನ MP ಚುನಾವಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟು, ನಾವೇನೆಲ್ಲ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜದ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಚಿಂತನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ತಕ್ಕ ಪಾಠವನ್ನು ನಾಳಿನ ಚುನಾವಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೀಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೇವೆ.
It's time for a quick break here on this edition. Back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
In this particular incident, why it has occurred, and what were the warning signs that led us here. And those are the things that we actually have to consider.
Why I'm asking that question is because you're asking for Ashwini Vaishnaw's resignation. That's why.
Yes, and it's because that we have in the past taken moral responsibility when accidents like this have occurred and resigned, whether it was Lal Bahadur Shastri, whether it was Madhav Sindhya, whether it was even Nitish Kumar under the NDA.
What about
They have
Mallikarjun
people
Kharge?
who take moral responsibility when accidents of this form actually happen. We have to talk about this is the worst accident that has happened in almost a quarter of a century. I want to get down to the facts of what were there any warning signs that could have helped us prevent this accident. And I want to start by talking about first the CAG report on derailment in Indian Railways, which stated that from 2017 to 2021, there were 1127 derailments, and a lot of them, or a majority of them, were because of shortfalls in inspections. The amount of money that has been given for track renewal has been decreased every year and has not even been utilized. You set that apart and you look at the fact that there are 312,000 vacancies in the railways. According to an article in the Hindu, which is as recent as last week, the consequential rail accidents year on year have gone up in the last 3 years from 27 to 34 to 48 this year. Manpower shortages are causing many of the loco pilots, which are basically a term for the train drivers, to work extremely long hours beyond the 12 hours per day maximum. Who is responsible for safety in the railways?
Right. I completely understand your point. I completely understand your point, but I also want to highlight this fact. You are making this pitch that given the horrific nature of this accident, the railway minister should quit. I am asking your position because Mallikarjun Kharge was railway minister as well. Was railway minister as well. Let's remember 2013, December 2013, 26 charred to death as a fire broke out in the Nanded Bangalore Express. Railway Minister Mallikarjun Kharge. In 2014, the Gorakhdam Express, which was headed towards Gorakhpur, collided with a halted goods train in close proximity to the Khalilabad station, resulting in 25 fatalities and more than 50 injuries. Who was the railway minister? Mallikarjun Kharge. Did he take moral responsibility?
And let me tell you what's different this time.
Okay.
Let me tell you that on 9th of February this year, an internal report from the Principal Chief Operations of Southwestern Railways served as a post-mortem of a very similar incident that has happened in Balasore, which was averted just in time at Hosadurga station due to an extremely alert driver. He said in that report that there is a fundamental problem with the interplay between the interlocking system and the signaling system. And actually, in the most dire terms, warned that if the signaling system is not monitored and corrected immediately, it will lead to a very serious accident. This is just a few months ago. Why was this report ignored? Why was it that
I will pose that question.
Our Prime Minister and our Rail Minister were more busy in ensuring that they show up at more Vande Bharat train inaugurations than taking the required cognizance.
But let's be fair. The Prime Minister as well as Ashwini Vaishnaw were at the site the very next day. This happened on Friday at 7 p.m. and they were at the site very next day. The whole area has been cleared in less than 24 hours. I mean, and you still haven't answered my question. Why didn't Mallikarjun Kharge take moral responsibility? But first, we are also getting a piece of breaking news now. Let's get the details of that piece of breaking news. After the railway minister ordered a CBI probe in the matter, experts have told CNN News 18 that signalling failure cannot happen without human intervention. That is the pitch coming in from top experts. The question remains, is the need of the hour to look into a sabotage angle? As per experts, the signalling system at Bahanaga Bazar, where this incident has taken place, ladies and gentlemen, is modern, robust, reliable and fail-safe. The system is time-tested and developed over the years. So that is the pitch that's coming in from top experts. As Ashwini Vaishnaw has ordered a CBI investigation, there could be a possible sabotage angle emerging in the wake of this gruesome tragedy. I'm joined by my colleague Dhrubajyoti Pramanik, who's getting us all the details. Dhrubajyoti, over to you.
Yeah. So Anshuman, the hint was enough in the morning where standing on the site, Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw told, quote, the root cause of the accident is now clear and the people involved, they are also identified. So it was enough hint. It was an enough hint for the railway minister after such a massive and terrific accident that there was something wrong with the entire thing. Now later on the day, the railway board member while interacting with the media, she told that, yes, there was something wrong. The Coromandel Express, it was supposed to pass through the AAP main line. And before that, one goods train was coming from the same direction, and it was made stationary. And that is why the loop line was set. Facing point number 17A was set in a reverse direction, and the goods train was taken in the up loop line, and it was made stationary. It was made parked, right? Then the Coromandel Express was about to pass through the same line, the main up line, and the signal was given that was green. Now the question is, let us just understand this signaling system of this Bahanaga Bazar station. This is absolutely based on electronic interlocking system. This is a software logic based, very robust, reliable, and fail-safe system. As you were saying that this system is developed over the years. Now just let us try to understand the signaling system. The logic says it's a absolutely software logic based system. The logic says if any point is set in a reverse direction, then the signals behind it would be either yellow or green. But in this case, it did not happen.
Right.
Two signals. Distant signal was green, the home signal was green. Then what went wrong? The experts say the signaling failure can't happen without a human intervention. You may ask, humans are involved in the train operations, but the probable human intervention in this case is different in nature.
Right.
Let's just understand why EI signaling system is operated from the it's operated from the station building itself, and by either station manager or by the
Welcome back. Let's get you some news that's making headlines on the global front. Saudi Arabia has now announced that it would dramatically cut its crude oil output by 1 billion barrels per day in July to support the stability and balance of oil markets. This comes as part of a deal by OPEC Plus nations to tighten supply into 2024. What is this going to look like? Why the decision has been taken? And what are going to be the consequences? Take a look.
Saudi Arabia on Sunday said it would dramatically cut its crude oil output as part of a deal by OPEC Plus nations to tighten supply into 2024 as producers seek to boost falling oil prices. The Saudi Energy Minister, Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman Al Saud, referred to the million-barrel cut as the Saudi lollipop, in that it sweetened a deal by fellow oil producers to curb production.
And I would have to call it the Saudi lollipop, which is a million barrel of reduction for the start that starts at the 1st of July. And that million is also extendable.
Saudi's energy ministry said the country's output would drop to 9 million barrels per day in July from around 10 million barrels in May, the biggest reduction in years. OPEC Plus, which groups the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and allies led by Russia, pumps around 40% of the world's crude, meaning its policy decisions can have a major impact on oil prices. A surprise decision to cut supply in April briefly sent international benchmark crude around $9 higher. But prices have since retreated under pressure from concerns about the weakness of the global economy and its impact on demand. Saudi Arabia is the only member of OPEC Plus with sufficient spare capacity and storage to be able to easily increase and curtail output.
15 months on, the war in Ukraine continues. Russia has now claimed that it has thwarted a large Ukrainian attack in the eastern province of Donetsk, though it's unclear if this was the start of a Ukrainian counteroffensive. The ministry, in a rare video, said its forces pushed back a large-scale Ukrainian assault on at least 5 points in southern Donetsk. I'm leaving you with that report.
Grainy aerial footage released on Sunday by a militant group of Russians fighting on behalf of Ukraine purports to show its members storming into a suburb of the Russian city of Belgorod. The Freedom of Russia Legion and another group, the Russian Volunteer Corps, have claimed they've conducted a number of cross-border raids into Russian territory from Ukraine. Last week, Moscow said 2 civilians were killed during fighting. In a video posted to the Freedom of Russia's Telegram channel, a man identifying himself as the commander of the Russian Volunteer Corps said his fighters had captured 2 wounded Russian soldiers. The man offered to exchange them in a meeting with Belgorod's regional governor. The governor, Vyacheslav Gladkov, responded on his own Telegram channel. Gladkov said there was a battle going on with saboteurs and terrorists in a Russian border town. He said he was willing to meet with the militants to ensure the return of captives if they were alive. He gave the name of a border checkpoint and a time. But later on Sunday, the militant group said it would hand over the prisoners to Ukraine after the governor failed to turn up as promised. Russia's invasion of Ukraine last year has in recent weeks and months come home to Russia. Gladkov said Ukrainian forces shelled Belgorod over the weekend, adding that 4,000 residents were relocated for their safety. Ukraine has denied attacks inside Russia. Meanwhile, Russian bombardment of Ukrainian cities continues. Ukrainian officials said a Russian missile attack on the city of Dnipro killed a 2-year-old girl and injured at least 22 people. Reuters could not independently verify the report. There was no immediate reaction from Moscow. The border skirmishes and airstrikes come as Ukraine readies an expected counterattack against Russian forces occupying swaths of Ukrainian territory in the country's east. Kiev on Sunday made a plea for operational silence ahead of the assault, discouraging public speculation over when and where it might strike.
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. The Balasore tragedy is one of India's deadliest train accidents. 275 plus people have lost their lives and over 1,000 have been injured. Union Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw has led from the front for over 50 hours and more, ensuring that the railway